What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another VoD review. Today we're looking at, I think, a silver Junkrat on PC. Before I start, if anybody wants a VoD review, let me know, either by going in the description, joining my Discord, leaving in the comments, whatever. If you follow me on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and join my Discord in the description. All that being said, let's get into the game. So, you're playing Junkrat on Attack on Watch Point. Not a great character for Attack on Watch Point. But if that's what you want to play, that's what you want to play. I'm not going to tell you to play something different. Looking at their comp, they have Orisa, Divas. Okay. Their comp is not bad for you. Like, you could do work against that comp. Orisa specifically, in a mobile-ass tank who can't move her shield, you fuck her. Like, that shield, instead of looking around for this guy who just died, you could have shot 4 shots at that shield. She would have been gone. So you have a pick. Once you see your tanks getting aggressive, you get aggressive with them. This kind of crazy aggressive flank, I didn't like it, and here's why. So you pushed out really far here. So if you're going to poke the enemies from here, okay, that's fine. Because if you get shot once, you know, you're that far from cover. Or you can just, you know, go down and duck. You know what I'm saying? You duck down a little bit. But you move up a little too far. At this point, Discord, he hits a shot. McCree hits a shot. You're just sitting there with 10 HP. Like, the cover that you have over here, acceptable. The cover that you have right now, there's no cover near you. It's going to take you 2 to 3 seconds to move back here. And at that time, McCree will probably be hitting the shots because you're going to be walking in a straight line backwards. So, you don't really want to take these long, really open angles where you're, like, peeking a ton of people. But you didn't get punished, that's okay. Good kill. You don't know that they're not moving back because of the outline thing, so it's okay. So you got a kill here, but I don't really like this aggression. I would rather just be sticking with my team and going for damage. Like, yeah, you're doing work here. However, this isn't your job, and you're going to win more games by, you know, at least in this rank. If you're not consistently carrying like how you are right now, you're going to win more games by playing the middle of your team, pounding shields down, and then making a difference based off of that. Second point's a little different because there's a lot of high ground for you to like abuse here. You could go to high ground and kind of drop into the core of the enemy team and get a ton of damage off. But again, here it's the same thing. You're going for these flanks. You're chasing down these single target kills when you really should just be putting a ton of tension on the enemy tanks. Like, all this downtime, these 10 seconds, you could have been shooting tanks. The only time I'd say it's okay for you to like wait, like in this like long of a position, is if you have ult and you're looking for a play with the ultimate. However, your team has a big advantage. You have a 6v4, and because you're not getting aggressive, it's basically a 5v4. And because you're not getting aggressive, your team is not how do I describe it? You're not really pushing up with your team when the rest of your team is probably going to be pushing up because, you know, like I said, you just had a 6v4. Your team's going to be expecting you to be doing something, and because you're not, you're kind of just denying your team that man advantage. Like, you're rolling them, yeah, and like you specifically are doing pretty well, but this, I don't think this playstyle is going to be the correct way to climb. So like here, you're really far from your team, and there's no reason to be. You're going to hit less shots from afar. You're way out of cover, so anything that's hit scan, like that McCree, he could be tagging you down. But you're playing really far away, and it's not really useful. Like, you're allowed to get closer. You're going to hit more shots when you're close. Now, you see the Bastion. You better start shooting that fucking Bastion. Your team killed him, thank God, but if you see a Bastion, you want to do what's called Jiggle Peeking. I'm not sure if you know what that is, but let's say Bastion is where he was, so like right here, okay? What you want to do as Junkrat is sit on this corner, peek out, shoot one shot, go behind the corner, Peek out again, shoot one shot, go behind the corner. Peek out, one shot, go behind the corner. This way, when you shoot, he's maybe able to get maybe 4 or 5 bullets off on you. Whereas if you just stand out in the open, he's going to be able to get 30, 40, 50 shots on you and just kill you. So, like I said, peek, shoot, go back. Peek, shoot, go back. That's what you want to do when you're versing Bastion. Kind of want to do that on a lot of projectile characters against Bastion. Right here, you're pushing pretty aggressively in front of the McCree, and you don't have any cover. That McCree, if he's decent, he's 2-tapping you, because you just walk in a straight line at him with no cover. But this is silver, so this kind of play is allowed, I guess. And then just spamming choke's fine here. Good job. Alright, so you rolled the fuck out of them in offense. Great job. Well, I mean, not so much great job. Good job because you didn't, like, you rolled them. Cool. But there's still a ton of mistakes in your play that you should be fixing. Like, right here, I don't know why you're not shooting him. I'm just waiting for it, you know? Anyway. They're on Winston Ball. Here, you kind of want to play near your team, because if Winston and Ball dive you, you're going to die, because you don't have any teammates near you. And if they're diving someone else on your team, you're not peeling. Whereas if you're pounding these tanks down, you're going to be fucking that Winston bubble. Fucking hamming up. Maybe he gets trapped. But you go for these really low percentage shots, and you get caught out. So, when you're against dive, stay near your team, stay near your team, stay near your team. That's a fucking massive thing that I see with a lot of low-ranked players is if they're versing dive, they like to separate. And it's dumb, because the enemies are going to capitalize on the fact that you're separated. They're just going to dive you, and fuck, nothing you can do there. And like here, you're going for this crazy aggressive flank. All the things do is if they turn around and jump on you, you're dead. Alright, right here. Don't like what you did. If you're going to go for these dumb flanks again, alright, which I don't recommend, but if you're doing them, whatever, you're doing them. You don't want to shoot until you're right next to your target, if they're unaware of you, and just get that combo off. For example, this Junkrat. You miss an easy shot on him. And you see he's about to tire. You shoot him again, you're going to break his tire, and you're going to one-shot him with your mine. But you look like you're panicking a lot. Like, if they don't have any attention on you, take your time. Line up your shot, and then shoot. Don't just, oh, I see enemy, spam shoot into this fucking general area. No. If you're on a flank like that, choose a target, kill that target. But like I said, your playstyle is not going to be that great when you're going against a team that's a lot more aware. Any kind of CC, you're fucked with your playstyle. Anyone who has decent aim, fucked. Like I said, if you're pounding down tanks, shooting tanks, you're going to just be making a lot more impact, and it's also playing a lot safer. Like these low percentage shots, you're not going to hit these. Whereas instead, you could use that whole clip on these tanks and just hit them, you know, 120, 120, 120, back to back. Like, you'll do a ton of damage to these tanks. But you go for these 1 out of fucking 10 shots on their DPS and you're not going to hit them. Also, this tire stuck with a tire. So the timing was okay. Like, it's mid-fight. It's like a 5v5, 65, something like that. It's like, it's a real fight. The way you used it, I didn't like. So let's go back real quick. So, when you're using tire, you want to avoid long lines of sight. And you know what I see here? Long line of sight. With Soldier, with Zen, with Junkrat. So, instead, what I would do is I would be playing maybe up here. So that you could, you know, pop the tire, get it right around this corner, you kill Junkrat with it. Now, obviously, I have fucking wall hacks as I'm playing from the spectator. And you don't know exactly where they are. But still, I would make the assumption that the enemy is, you know, near where the cart is, since, you know, look at the top of the screen. They have a 1 there. Someone is on cart. And you're giving them a really long LOS with your tire here. So try to cut down on that long line of sight next time. So when you're versing ball, just put down your trap. Just put it down somewhere. Also, the health pack. The health pack, bro! Oh, no. Run away from the health pack. You're tripping me. So, put down a trap just somewhere. That's not really something I focus on a lot when I'm playing Junkrat. Like, trap placement isn't what makes me a good Junkrat. But you still just want to place one when you're versing ball. Because if he runs into it, it's not necessarily a free kill. But it's pretty goddamn close to a free kill, you know? So, spamming there is decent, and here's why. The Junkrat's not really looking at you. You know, he's looking downward. He's focusing on something down that way. So, his movement's going to be pretty predictable. And you're not too far from him. And additionally, you can't shoot these people that are down here without dropping onto them. And then you're in their range. You get stunned, you get whipped, you get fucking... You know, you get shit on by these close range characters. So... You don't really have the best angle at them right now, and that Junkrat was getting too close, so that's good that you targeted him there. But now I would try to shift my focus towards people directly under me, because like I said, those are gonna be low percentage shots. And then now you're just walking completely out of cover, and anything that's hit scan, maybe a Roadhog hook, maybe a flashbang, you know, something else can fuck you. You look very comfortable with using your mines to get high ground, and that's good. Like, you look comfortable with Junkrat Mechanics. Your mechanics definitely aren't bad. Like, specifically to Junkrat. But, like, your FPS mechanics, such as right there, going way too far out of cover for no reason, that was bad. You don't need to peek that far out of cover. If you remember how I was showing Jiggle Peeking, like, you don't leave the cover much. You don't give yourself that much better of an angle by leaving cover a lot, you know? Here they have sights up. And trance up. You're not going to be able to do much to it. Good kill. You can win this. Big tire coming up. Ah, that sucks. Anyway, like realistically, you couldn't have won that. I kind of just said it in a hype moment. It was like a 2v6, 2v5 because he killed Zen. But there, I was feeling the flow. I saw a lot of them grouped up. I was like, you know, maybe I'll tire here. That's how I would have done it. But anyway, so this shot on the Zen. Hey, real quick, am I tripping? Zen is on the ground here, right? How do you get to high ground? What? What booped him? You didn't boop. Did you boop him? Am I crazy? Am I going crazy? Hold up. .25. I'm sorry, this is a... Ah, you did. Okay. Got it. Sorry, I was going crazy there. Anyway. So you got the Zen right next to you. Just hit your shot. Hit your first shot. Don't throw a mine before you shoot. Because if you do that, you're going to boop him up, and he's going to be a lot harder to hit. If he's up close, you're going to hit that shot on him. So just make sure you hit that fucking shot on him, you know? Left click before you throw your shift. It's just like a discipline thing. So, oh, crap. Alright. That was a bad mine. Maybe I gave you too much credit earlier when I was talking about good with mine mechanics. Make sure you're on the side of the mine that you want to go to. Because if you're not, you're going to be sent, like, whatever direction you are on the mine. And it's going to be really hard to go the direction you want. So, if your mine's right in front of you, get in front of it before you pop it. If you want to go forward, you know? Because if you pop it and you're, like, right above it, you have a chance to be behind it. So make sure you're a little bit ahead of it, you know? Anyway. That trap is fine. Like, this trap placement is not something I'm worried about. Pound that tank. You don't need to go back to spawn here. You have both heals alive. But it is what it is. Good trap. I like it. Good job focusing tanks. I like it. See, this is what you should have been doing earlier. Oh, jumped into a mine. That sucks. Here, I wouldn't poke. I would stay alive for final fight. Oh, you gotta kill. Holy shit. 8 HP in a dream. So, yeah. You don't really need to peek out there. There's another fight coming up. Your team is regrouping. You have some picks, so when your team regroups, you'll win that 6v4. You have spawn advantage. You could have laid low here, let the enemy push the cart to maybe very close to the end. Your team's gonna come out, and then you pop out behind the enemy backline, or you go back to the core of your team. Pushing out there, even though you got a kill, wasn't the best idea with 40 HP. Bastion, what the fuck? That Junkrat should be your focus. The Junkrat floating through the air should have been your focus. He's still in your backline. I don't know why you're taking your attention off of him. I don't know if you assume that your team was going to kill him. Try not to do that. Try not to just randomly assume that your team's going to kill him. Now, I don't really think you want Bastion tips because you're specifically talking to me about Junkrat. So I'm going to try to go back to when you're not on Bastion. Soldier, okay. So I don't think you go back to Junkrat this game. I lied. Alright, cool. Good. What you're doing here, just seeing the shield, pounding the shield, what you should have been doing last time. Okay, you see a lot of them high ground. A little bit of spam, okay, but go back to shooting the things that are right in front of you. Got some health from your team. Press the I need healing button. Do not be afraid to press the I need healing button. Do not be afraid to press it. It's not a disrespectful thing to do. So, you're doing a lot of jumping out into the open and playing cover really poorly. I'm going to touch on that a little bit later. But, like, there's no reason for you to just jump into, like, the middle of... Not really the middle of the enemy team, but just in the middle of the... Just the air. Like, you're just begging for a hit scan to shit on you. Good. Everything you're doing here, I'm liking it. This little mini flank, this is acceptable. I like this. Don't waste your mind there, though. Because now you don't have as much kill potential. The reason you want to save mine on a flank like this, it'll take you maybe 3 more seconds to walk up these stairs. And by the time you get here, you can shoot and detonate it, and you'll kill somebody. But now you have to hit 2 shots in a row. The issue with that is, once you hit your first shot, they're going to react. They're going to start moving. They're going to start strafing you actively and make it harder for you to hit them. But if you come up here with a mine ready, you shoot your shot, throw your mine, and then, you know, you'll kill him because he doesn't have time to react. Because that first shot is going to hit him right before you detonate your mine, and you're going to kill him. But because you wasted it, you don't get the kills here and you die. Definitely try to save a mine for when you're going to fight. Alright, we're going to watch this last tire, and then we're gonna end it. We'll give you a few final pointers. A random mine, not a good idea. I'd rather you just save the mine instead of, you know, randomly eating it. Alright. I'm feeling a big tire coming up. Okay, that was okay. Could have been a lot better. And here's what I would have done differently. 2 things. One, I would have came up here. This way the enemy has less time to react. Because you can stay here and you're out of LOS of anything. You're not giving anyone LOS. And you just drop it straight down and boom, pop onto the bongo. And 2, you jumped with the tire. And that's really bad. You jump with the tire and you're letting it sit in the middle of the air for like an extra half second that doesn't need to. Instead, I would have just drove it straight off. You know? You don't need to jump. Because like you're giving the turret more time to shoot it. You're giving it more time before it reaches the Zen or the Orisa. So just like drop it straight off and pop that bitch. But that's gonna be the end of the VOD view. Let's just give 3 final tips. Number 1, please stop going on these crazy exuberant flanks for now. Focus tanks, focus tanks, focus tanks until you get your mechanics better. Like, you'll have an instant impact just focusing the fuck out of tanks. Consistently dealing 120 damage, deleting shields within 1 clip, it's fucking huge and it's impactful. And even though you might not be in the kill feed as much, you're gonna help your team a fuck ton. You're gonna help your tanks take space. You're not gonna have to go in these crazy flanks where you have to hit 2 crazy shots to get a kill. You're just gonna pound the enemy team down, and that's just gonna win you games. Number 2 is, I guess mechanics in general, is just practice your mechanics. Always have a trap down. Maybe put on a health pack so the enemies run into a health pack and they get trapped. Work on your combo. Like, make sure you hit a shot before you throw out that second mine, because a lot of time you're going to miss your first shot, throw out a mine, and then boop the enemy in the air, and you're not going to be able to hit them. Kind of third thing is, I guess, positioning. Yeah, that ties back to the first one. If you're versing dive, stay with your team. If you're versing bunker, pound shields down. That's kind of just a recognizing the comp thing. So, for example, right now they're playing bunker. Before they were playing dive. Depending what they are, you, I guess you want to kind of play differently. But in both those scenarios, you do want to just focus tanks until somebody separates and makes themselves an easy target for you. Stay with your team against dive. You could separate a little bit more when you're reversing bunker. Third issue, I'll just say, is your ultimate usage. Like I said, you're getting kills with it, yeah, but there's still a ton that can be worked on. Like, for example, you threw it into the air here, gave a ton of time for the turret to pop it down. If Bat hits a shot, he breaks in. You don't get those 2 kills. You don't kill the bongo. Whereas if you just dropped it off here, maybe over here, turret want to shoot you, you drop it in, you maybe kill 3 really quickly. And then over there on second point, you gave it a really long LOS for the enemies. Like I said, you want to limit the amount of time the enemies can see the tire. You want to limit the amount of time that they can react to it as well. So you want to be like, fire in the hole. 1, 2, pop it. You don't want to fucking run your tire for 8 seconds most of the time looking for a kill, because you're going to be driving it around and the enemy's going to shoot it. With all that being said, I'm going to stop the VOD review here. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm sure we'll talk in Discord about this. But, you know, feel free to follow me on Twitch, Twitter, Discord, YouTube, whatever the fuck. And I'm going to end it here, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace.